Hey guys, Nick here from Functional Neurohealth. Today I'm going to talk about the Assess Reassess model. What's the Assess Reassess model? Well, essentially it's a way for utilising biofeedback to tell us how your nervous system is accepting load. I use this in my clinic a lot when I'm working with clients in pain or with postural or movement complaints by continually assessing, applying a stimulus or drill or therapy and then reassessing in order to see how well their system is taking on the corrections. That way we can get really rapid and specific results for my clients. It comes from the functional neurology world where we would assess a function, we would stimulate the area that we think that function deficit is coming from, and then we'll reassess the output. But we're using it in more of a global sense today because in essence, when the brain receives, or the nervous system receives the stimulus that it wants or likes or needs, it will improve global range of motion, strength and balance throughout the whole body, regardless of the way you apply the stimulus. I see this all the time. So what is the Assess Reassess model? So it uses real-time biofeedback, and the biofeedback is essentially outputs such as balance, forward bend and trunk rotation, so range of movement and balance. It uses real-time biofeedback to assess the neural uptake or the way the nervous system is accepting load. Okay, so for you guys, when you go into the gym or wherever you train, you can now start doing a bit of a pre-assessment. So a pre-assessment before you actually start training, and then you might have your chosen drills that you're going to do or exercises that you've been programmed yourself or you've programmed for yourself, and then you're going to go through one drill at a time. You're going to do a few reps of each drill, and then you're going to immediately reassess the biofeedback markers, the balance, forward bend and trunk rotation. And what you're looking for is improvements in all those outputs. So I'll just give you an example. So say I want to come into the gym and I've got a little bit lower back pain and I want to sort of work on my glutes to sort of stabilize my hip, right? So I have a bunch of exercises that I want to do, but before I even get started, I'm just going to do a pre-assessment, a pre-screening. I'm going to assess my balance. And the way I would do that is I will essentially put one foot in front of the other, so they're like this, and I'll bring my arms up, I'll pick a target in the distance, I'll close my eyes, and I'll just get a bit of a feel for where my body wants to go. So in that one just there, I sort of swayed to the right slightly and my left foot was working pretty hard to stabilize me. So I'm assessing my whole balance system there, so that's the cerebellum and then all the receptors in the ankle as well. Then I'm going to also swap the feet. So now I've got the feet in the opposite direction, so one in front of the other. Put the arms up, eyes closed. And again, I'm just getting a bit of a sense for what's happening there. The back foot is the one that you're, in that Romberg's assessment there, the back foot is the one that you are sort of paying attention to. That's the one that's being stressed a bit. But what we're looking for here is, how much movement's there? Do I definitively fall one side to the other? Okay, so the one I got the most feedback for was the first one. So where I had my left foot behind, I fell to the right slightly. Okay, so I'm going to note that down mentally. I could write it down. Then I'm going to do a forward bend. It's pretty simple, feet together, and I'm just going to bend down towards the floor and see where I get. Okay. Then I'm going to do a trunk rotation. Now the rotation could be a cervical range of motion as well. So cervical rotation, this is often a big one for people. So if I look to the left, not much there, tiny little bit of stiffness on the left. If I go to the right, it gets a bit blocked there and it sort of radiates up to my right ear. It's not the best range of motion. So I'm going to probably look for cervical range of motion. Then I could potentially also do trunk range of motion. So I would have my feet hip width apart, arms out in front, and I'm just going to rotate as far as I can go to the other direction. Maybe it's a pre-assessment. I haven't done anything yet, nothing at all. Then, okay, I'm working on my glutes for my lower back. What I'm going to do is the exercise I'm going to choose first is a single leg Romanian deadlift. I'm just going to do it with body weight. I'm going to do it with my left leg first. I'm going to stand here and I'm going to do 3 reps. 3 reps. And immediately reassess. I'm going to go to balance straight away, eyes closed. Definitely didn't fall to the right then. I'm gonna check here. It's better, noticeably better. And I could check the forward bend as well. A little bit better too there. So that's, as for now, because I got noticeable improvements in all three ranges of motion, I'm going to say that's probably a good exercise I can do today. What I could do now though is I could reassess right-legged, single leg deadlift. Again, do 3 reps. This doesn't feel as good, but it might not. We don't know how the brain is going to uptake this. Forward bend. That's better. And then balance is the big one. That feels stable. So, contrary to what I thought, the right-sided drills are actually better than the left. You want to go to the noticeable ones. It has to be noticeable that you can feel it. Now, people always, I do this with my clients, they always say, oh, I'm getting better because I'm warmed up. Well, in a way that's kind of true, but what will happen is if I do a drill that my brain doesn't like, I'll actually get worse instantly. Okay, so if I did a drill that my system didn't uptake the load properly, you will get worse. So it really doesn't have anything to do with being warmed up. It has to do with nervous system perceiving it, accepting it, improving outputs. Okay, so that's a big one. So we assess all 3 assessments as a baseline marker, as I did. Perform 2 to 3 reps of the desired exercise or drill. Immediately reassess all 3 drills, because you're going to have a neuroplastic window of about 5 seconds, 5 maybe 10 seconds max, but about 5 seconds, where you'll do the drills and you'll see a change that lasts for around 5 seconds. I don't know why it lasts for that long, but it's essentially like the brain saying, yeah, that was good, or yeah, that was bad. You know what I mean? Okay, so positive is improvements in all 3 assessments or performance markers. Negative is no change, no noticeable change, a little bit there, or they actually get worse. And if you do apply something that the body doesn't like, the brain doesn't like, you will get worse. You'll see it. You'll fall over, you'll tighten up, you'll get immediately stiffer. And so what you do when that happens is you just go, okay, that drill might be a good one, it's not a good one today. So you might notice that the exercises you do will be, and the time you exercise will be a lot shorter, but there's a concept in medicine called minimum effective dose, which means that you only need to provide the minimal stimulus that the brain or the nervous system wants to give you the outcome that you need or want. Okay, so next time you're in the gym, you're doing any type of movement therapy, whether you're trying to get out of pain, improve range of motion, or improve strength, this is a massive one for strength, apply this approach. So nothing has to change in terms of the exercise that you're doing. All that is changing is the way you're perceiving it. So all that is changing is that you're doing a pre and a post assessment every time you do a drill, every time you change a variable. So if I was to do those single leg deadlifts with weight, I would then reassess, because I'm now changing a variable again. So I had no weight before, now I have weight. That's a different type of load or stimulus to the nervous system. We now need to reassess. So if you're doing, say, a bench press with a bar and a bench press with dumbbells, it's a completely different bench press. So you have to assess before and after. And what you'll notice with your gains is they'll be a lot faster, and you'll have less muscular fatigue afterwards, because you're essentially asking your nervous system all the while through, is this good, is this okay, do you like this? Okay, so next time you're training, guys, or if you're trying to get out of pain, apply this approach to your therapy, to your movement therapy, to your training, to your strength training, and just see how you go. Okay, that's me signing off for today. Enjoy.